Welcome to Toronto. My name is Arian, otherwise known by my flight simulation community as Simple, and it's my pleasure to have you on board this video on an epic journey across the Atlantic to beautiful Rome in Italy, on Air Canada's Boeing 777 economy class. We're headed to Terminal 1, which primarily serves Air Canada and all other Star Alliance airlines, as well as Emirates and Air North. Let's go! Considering it's a Sunday evening with the weather starting to warm up, I expected a busier terminal and I'm pleasantly surprised upon arrival. The check-in lines are nothing out of the ordinary. The call sign for tonight's flight is AC890. I've already checked in through Air Canada's app, so I'll only need to print my boarding card and head straight for security. Throughout this video, I'll be narrating on and off with a mix of on-screen text. The security line is moving pretty fast and the whole process is seamless today. It definitely appears less chaotic and more organized compared to my post-COVID trip to Vancouver back in 2022. Check that out under the Trip Report playlist if you haven't already. Once I pass security, I'll slowly make my way over to our gate today, which is Echo 72, or so I think. Stay tuned for a little not so exciting news that ends up leading to a 3-hour delay. To get to my gate, I'll walk through a long hallway which offers pretty spectacular views of the Air Canada Rouge operating gates. At the gate, I'm going to take the opportunity to show you guys the different restaurants available. Strongly considering using my MasterCard Dragon Pass to get a 5 to 10% discount on a meal at one of these places, but I'm going to hold off and wait for the hot meal service on today's flight. Besides, I'm about to start indulging on pizza, pasta, and a lot more carbs in under 24 hours. Might as well wait. Soon, you'll see our aircraft for tonight, which just completed its inbound flight from Rome, call sign AC891. Now, remember that not so exciting news that I mentioned earlier? Well, about 45 minutes following the passengers deplaning from the inbound flight on AC891, the gate agent delivered the disappointment on the PA. Apparently there's a mechanical issue with this 777 which can't be fixed in a reasonable time frame. So they're going to look for another aircraft that can take us to Rome. So much for paying $85 to secure myself a nice wing view on row 43. Pretty soon chaos ensues and passengers somewhat freak out. Eventually they'll tell us they found a new 777 to operate to Rome under the new call sign AC2190. But since this one has more seats in business class than the previous aircraft, it also has 50 less seats in total, which means 50 passengers will need to be rescheduled to another flight. Our new gate will be Echo 79. Might as well do some plane spotting on our way.
Alright, I'm at the gate Echo 72 waiting for our plane to arrive right here. As you can see, the baggage agents are ready on standby for the plane to arrive from Rome so they can unload. Maintenance is going to do their walk around. Pilots are going to do the walk around, fuel up, accept the aircraft, and we'll be on our way.
Our new aircraft, operating under the call sign AC2190, has arrived to the gate. Registration Charlie Foxtrot India Uniform Lima, a 17-year-old 777-300ER delivered to Air Canada in 2007. After about a 3-hour delay, it is finally time to board this bird. Air Canada's 777 comes in 2 cabin layouts. AC890 had layout number 2 with 7 business class rows in a 2x2 flatbed configuration and 450 seats in total, which includes 24 recliner seats in premium economy and 398 standard economy seats, mostly in a 3x4x3 configuration. Our aircraft, which will fly us to Rome this evening, is labeled as layout number 1. It has 9 business class rows in a 2x2 configuration and 2 more rows of business class with 2 seats per row for a total of 40 flatbed seats. Row 7 is situated near the galley and row 8 is by the lavatories on each side. Moving back, there are 24 recliner seats in 3 rows of premium economy in a 2x4x2 configuration and 336 standard economy seats in mostly a 3x4x3 configuration. In total, layout number 2 has 400 seats. The replacement seat Air Canada gave me this evening is 58K, which is further back on the right side of the plane as opposed to 43A, which would have offered a stunning view of the left wing. I'm still trying to contact Air Canada for a refund with no luck, but we'll see.
The reason for the delay, the aircraft originally scheduled for this flight upon arrival to Air Toronto had a mechanical issue, so the aircraft was taken out of service so that could be addressed. And there were replacement aircraft that had to be positioned, catered, fueled, groomed, etc., resulting in our consequent delay.
I'll address the comfort level and roominess, or lack thereof, of these economy seats right away. I'm 5'10", legroom was okay with a few inches to spare from my knees to the seat in front. The width of the seats, however, felt tight and crammed. The 3x4x3 configuration really showed itself here. I can't imagine anyone taller than 6 feet or even a bit claustrophobic feeling comfortable sitting on these economy seats. The comfort level of the cushioning was about a 7 out of 10 as well. Overall, it felt very crammed and narrow compared to my economy window seats on the Airbus A330 from Venice back to Toronto, but take that for what it's worth. It was finally time to taxi out to runway 05 for a nighttime departure out of Pearson. Enjoy the full clip of the takeoff with spectacular city lights underneath us as we depart straight out towards the east and on course to Rome. Once airborne, I started checking out the in-flight entertainment system. The first thing that jumped out at me was the relative smoothness and efficiency by which it alternated between the various screens and different menus. Some items like the world map took about 10 seconds to fully load on the screen, but aside from that, comparing the in-flight entertainment system on this 777-ER to Air Canada's 787-8 Dreamliner I flew to Vancouver back in 2022, it felt much smoother. There was no shortage of content on this system, from lots of hit movies in every genre to relevant information about the flight under the Your Trip section. I particularly enjoyed the screen mirroring cockpit indications like our heading, airspeed, attitude, and altitude. I found myself on this screen for the majority of the flight, given that I had my earbuds in listening to content on my own phone. Of course, before dinner was served, I had to pull up the menu and see what's in store for tonight. I was particularly hungry since I had skipped the meals from the restaurants in Terminal 1. For the main course, I had the option of chicken cacciatore or penne pasta. I went with this what turned out to be a rather delicious, maybe it was my hunger level at this point, chicken cacciatore with roasted potatoes and bell pepper. Shortly after devouring this, I asked the flight attendant whether it would be possible to get a penne as well. She gave me a look consistent with the 6.5 out of 10 friendliness rating for the cabin crew. "Didn't you already get a meal, sir?" "Yes," I replied. "I did. I just meant if there is some extra penne left over." "Well, I'll have to see," she responds, looking away from me and marching down the aisle before finishing the words. "Geez, okay then, let's check out the lavatory." Lav was relatively clean. I'd say 7 out of 10 on the cleanliness scale. Plenty of toilet paper available with soap to wash our hands. Pretty soon, the gorgeous sunrise over the Atlantic made me intermittently ignore the "please keep your blinds down so passengers can sleep" directive from the cabin crew, though I'd make sure to get a sneak peek outside for no more than 5 to 10 seconds before putting the blind back down. It would have been an even better shot if I was in the 43A. Breakfast on today's flight, a cranberry lemon loaf with yogurt. The cabin crew did come around with soft drinks, juice, wine, and tea or coffee a couple of times throughout the flight. Before sunrise, I went with my signature tomato juice, which some of you might find gross. I like it. After breakfast, I asked for a coffee as we flew over the breathtaking Swiss Alps. The entire view outside became a great spectacle even through the frost set on the windows. By the way, I forgot to mention, even though I didn't get the 43A seat I had selected and paid for, it was pretty cool to have 2 windows by 58K. Not sure if there would have been 1 or 2 windows by 43A. Our cruise altitude on today's flight, initially 31,000 feet or flight level 310, followed by a climb to 33,000 and final altitude of 35,000 feet. Now I'll be quiet and let you enjoy the stunning views on our descent to Italy on this straight-in approach and landing on runway 16 right in Rome Fiumicino Airport. And for all you aviation geeks out there, stay tuned for a special treat after landing, which really puts the icing on the cake for me on this flight and makes it even more of a memorable journey.
Welcome to Rome. The local time is 1:15. Please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened, your cabin baggage stowed to the seatbelt sign has been switched on. Air Canada, membre de l'auto Aviation, vous êtes donc votre vol est agréable et façon pour le voir bientôt. Encore une fois, merci. Cabin crew, please clear doors for arrival. Clock.
I'm gonna see the pilot. I talked to the flight attendant.
Okay, they said okay this time?
Oh, next. Yeah. Beautiful. Perfect. Thank you so much. No MELs today or anything on this one?
Just minor. Tank indicator. Waste, not fuel, the waste. Waste tank indicator.
Waste tank indicator?
Well, that was fun. Welcome to Rome. Thanks for letting me share this epic journey with you. And if you enjoyed this video, click that like button and subscribe to the channel for the trip report on my flight back from Venice to Toronto. See ya!
la malinconia sotto a finestra, volgaresteria quando fa notte, sole se ne scende, ma è nato sole più bello in me, oh sole mio, sta